Welcome back to part 23 of The Evil Within. This time we're going to finally handle Ruvic and the chaos he has caused us all game long and end the madness once and for all. But first we have the longest motherfucking lift ever in the game, and I would cut it out, but the whole point of this is to try and get you prepared for the build up, is to get you prepared for it. And I think even Sebastian comments on how long this lift is.
If I make it out alive, I'm never riding in an elevator again.
Point proven. And just to get to see how high you are, because it shows the window as it's going up, so that's a nice little touch as well. Because the tower at the back of the hospital is really high up actually for some reason. It makes you think they had a level planned or something, and they just decided to say fuck it and make it a lift instead. But we're here, we're at the core of everything. There's a door on the back here, but this door's not for you. Like, someone will come out through that door. But what you're looking for, down here, there's people. And you're trying to find, well, yourself. There you are. You're looking over the dome you're actually in. But now we get a cutscene, so I have to shut up again.
Sebastian, get away from him. Sebastian, listen to me. Stop. Your interests are the same as ours.
Look, I get it. You're not just some rookie detective, and this is not just some ordinary kid. You killed Joseph and you shot me. So right at this moment, that's enough reason for me not to trust you.
You're a good man. That's why Doesn't matter anymore. If you know who this kid is, if you know anything, you know why he can't be allowed to live.
Bullshit. It's Ruvic. He's the one that... Leslie, stop! Leslie!
Well, here begins the first part of the final boss. Well, what the game considers the final boss. All we're doing for this section is paying attention to which way the arms are dragging down and moving out the way as you run up. They always come down the same angle, so if you just know where to move, you'll be fine. Eventually you'll be able to get a detour into the building here, keep on moving from this monstrosity with braces. I think this thing's called the Amalgram, or the Amalgram, or something along those lines. Or you could just say it's like Ruvic's pet, Ruvic's monster, you can name it that, but I think its name is Amalgram or Amalgram. I'll be calling it Amalgram because it's just how I pronounce it. But now we get the closest thing to the meat of the fight. Because you get a gun. It's the only point in this part where you get to use this turret, so make it count. And the game will show you exactly where you need to aim. Just shoot the shit out of it, out of the hand until it goes away, and then aim at the glass skull brain thing. You're trying to put as many bullets into the brain as humanly possible. This section is not particularly hard. Once you get into the momentum of it, it's not. You can get it done quite easy. But if you take too long them shooting at the hands, they will rip you off, and it's an instant kill. The same with the earlier section when they were scratching down the building when you're trying to run past it. If it grabs you, it's an instant kill. Almost everything this boss does is an instant kill. So you have to keep moving, just keep putting bullets into it. And you've got unlimited ammo here, so just don't even let go of the trigger, like, because it's not that hard to control the recoil of this thing anyway. Eventually, the thing will actually grab you regardless and will throw you away to where we get to the next sequence of the fight. Whee! Ooh. And that hurts about as much as you would expect it to. But the thing's not done yet, because we're not dead yet, so of course it's going to continue on us. But remember that status from last part. Our luck starts to turn and we finally get to use the rocket launcher. But the fat fucker is gaining on us. Right, now this part is actually kind of easy to screw up, because it works how RPGs usually work. When you shoot, the aim drifts on it. It tilts and it drifts. You're aiming for the glass head still. If you get a shot on it, it will stun him, and you'll be able to, well, get more shots off. You only have a limited supply of rockets, and you also have a limited amount of time because the thing is constantly gaining on you. If you hit the head enough times, sometimes it will stun you and give you a free shot, and when it gives you the free shot, this lock-on will appear, so you can actually get it. But yeah, just keep, whatever you do, just don't give in. Keep on aiming at the head. Depending on what difficulty you play as, depends on how many times you hit the head. On easy, you only need like 2 clean shots on the head and you're fine. On normal, you need about 3 or 2 of the lock-on shots. So you need like 3 more than your normal, or 2 of the lock-on shots. And then on Nightmare, I've never got this far on Nightmare, so I have no clue. Alright, last chance. Because it's a lock-on shot, so this should be enough. It's the second lock. Yeah, that's enough. And we're pretty much done on the fight now. The Amalgam's going to slam down next to us, and it's going to try and make one last ditch effort. It's going to outright try and eat us. But Ruvic's in the thing it's going to eat, so we finally get a chance to get one clean shot to kill Ruvic. If you kill Ruvic, the Amalgam will go down with it. So take your shot and end the fight. Thus, your input in the game is done. You've won. Congratulations, it's over. And the Amalgam belly sort of explodes and the whole thing collapses to its final death, as you've just killed what the game considers the final boss and your input into the game. Well, no, actually, technically you've got a little bit more input, but that's the very last thing that can possibly kill you. Because we got, like, less of an actual active playing the game, more like an active cutscene, because all you're doing is walking to something slowly and then slamming it into the ground. But yeah, we finally finished the Evil Within, guys. We actually did it. It only took us, what, March to now? I'll try and clean it up and get more time for it. It was just like illnesses and then exams that really like screwed me over in trying to get this all done. Which I was aware of, but I wanted to try and get it done before exams kicked in, but unfortunately I didn't get such luck.
You cannot keep me here.
Watch this.
Ruvic.
Yeah, all you're doing is slowly stumbling your way over to the brain and then smashing it. Because that's Ruvic's brain. But now Ruvic has no control in the world at all. He's just a brain. And that's probably just done enough to kill him, slamming the brain into the ground. Don't know about you, but just to be sure. And on this note, I'm going to shut up until the credits roll, because it's nothing but cutscenes from here on out.
Vital signs, sir.
Leave that one. And those two. They're not going anywhere. No one can.
Go, go! Detective, are you all right? Is there anyone else?
Just give me some real fresh air.
And that was The Evil Within. I really enjoyed going through this game again. despite the amount of hiccups and slowdowns and delays I've had trying to make this, I've really enjoyed going through this game again, and I'm happy I let's played it, even if it is by far the longest one I've done so far for the channel. I'm not really sure what I can say though with this. Like, what it does well, but it's always rough around the edges. Like, everything in this game does it to a certain degree, but there's always a sense of something's not 100% with it. Something that if this game ever got the luxury of a sequel, would clean up. And it's one of those games where I do really look forward to it getting a sequel, not because I think it's going to be good, but because I want to see the potential of this series really unfold. Because there is a lot for this game. There really is. There's so many little things, little twists and tales, and the plot's really out there and interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of elements of it that's kind of cliched, but it works in its favour. And all we need is a sequel to come in and clean up its problems and throw us together with a good plot and maybe make it a bit more interesting than what we currently got. And we could have an amazing series on our hands. But as it stands right now, all we've got is this. Which, like I said, it's a fine enough game on its own ground. It's just missing that certain something. The soundtrack I'm still a great fan of though. As you can hear in the background of the credits. The way they handled like an archaic style with the sense of realism with upgrades, yet still having to look for bullets, still having that survival aspect, was a nice twist. It had a good classic Resident Evil style, which for any classic Resident Evil fan is like a joy. And it just had fun with it. And I had fun playing through it. Which is saying a lot. Even with Chapter 9, despite how much I hate it, it was fun to go through. As for what I'll do next time, I have a good idea of what I want to do next time. When I started Evil Within, I looked at my collection of games and I was like, oh god, I have no idea what I'm going to do after Evil Within. But during the course of Evil Within, I've picked up a lot of games. And a lot of them are games I want to play. So, next time we meet, I will be tackling the Uncharted series, starting with the first game. I'm going to be tackling Uncharted Drake's Fortune off the Nathan Drake collection on PS4. After that, I'm not going to jump straight to 2 because I want to mix it up. I don't know, we'll see what happens. I could do the Devil May Cry reboot, I could do Last of Us, but at the same time I sort of don't want to go from Naughty Dog game to Naughty Dog game. Overwatch recently came out, and even though it doesn't have a plot, I would like to try and get a hold of that at some point and do a few videos on it. There's Final Fantasy Type 0, there's all sorts I could do in the future. It's not like I'm out of content to give you guys. I could really like play around and throw something decent at you guys and hope you enjoy. And I know like my mic quality isn't always the best. Well, no, it's never really been the best. It's always had like a little stumble and a muffle, but it's made do for these past 4 playthroughs, and it'll hopefully make do for Uncharted when I work through it. But it's not to say that I'm committing to this mic. Once I've acquired enough money, I will be trying to get a better, clearer one. It's just not going to happen immediately, so please, if you've bared with so far, please bear with for a little longer, because I just physically don't have the money to get a stronger mic right now. I'm working off tight anyway. I mean, I've just come out of exams. That was hard work. But that being said, back to Evil Within, before I drift off again. The downloadable content for this game, I've mentioned it before a few times, and I'll mention it again. I will be covering the downloadable content for Evil Within, just not yet, because I've never played it, and I like to give you guys a game that I have experience with, unless it's deliberately blind, like the Final Fantasy X live streams. So that being said, you're not going to get the DLC until I've got a hold of it, played all of it through, got enough experience with it to then start recording it for you guys. So that's not going to be for a little while. Uncharted though I've had enough experience with, so that should be fun. Even though I do have quite a number of issues with the first game, but we'll get into that as we go through it. But that being said, I think I've spoken enough, and I'm sort of just dragging out words here, so I'll clean up. I hope you guys have enjoyed this playthrough of the Evil Within for however long it's been, and I'll see you guys on the next run. Until then, take care of yourselves, and God bless. Wow, I edited out a lot of deaths there.